As we continue with our Dead of Winter theme, we find In-Fisherman editor Matt Straw in search of bluegills. What sleight of hand might be afoot to tempt a few bigger fish?
Yeah. Midwinter bluegills. Tell you what, this time of year, especially, we've had an event this year. Whoa, all the snow came early. And the ice came early this year, but the snow came early too. Let's get her right back. There she goes. Tell you, in the midwinter, after a snow event like this, the sunlight gets blocked. You got bright sun today, but when the sunlight gets blocked, the weeds start to die and they start to move out deeper. Now we're out in about 17, 18 feet of water. The weeds are over there about 20, 30 feet. They don't want to be far from that food shelf, but they're going to be in deeper water if you get a lot of snow and the light isn't penetrating and the weeds die.
What we're doing is just taking one single euro. Now we have a few trailings from previous ones on there, which just give it a little more action. And then from here, we're just tipping the one on there. Gives a good scent in the water. These fish are not the most active fish, so when they're coming up and they're sitting their mouth in their mouth and they're looking for scent, and that's why fresh bait is always a key. Here comes one to the bait. There's one. Ooh, that feels like it's a little better. Yeah, not a bad bluegill. That took that rat finky and that one single Maggie. Those are the fish people need to be returning. Those are your fish that guard your beds and keep all your small grass perch and everything else from going in and desecrating the beds when there are no males and big bulls in the area to protect them. Here comes one rising through the column. Oh, shoot. They're biting so light. Takes a lot of patience. We're only using 2-pound test Berkeley fluorocarbon, and if you go anything bigger than that, they'll just nose away from it. They're very, very finicky fish. When the fish start rising up the column, what I like to do is to take and just slow it down and just give it a very gentle shake, like right now. And as you saw, I was slowed it down, and that's when the fish decided to take it. The shaking part initially drew him out of the column, but once he's committed and coming out of the rest of that school of fish, that's when you want to slow it down. Here comes one. There, we got him. Now, as long as he doesn't get transducered. Oh, look at the size of that one. And a tiny black rat finky to produce giant fish like that.
I've learned to like the spring bobber ever since I took my 12-year-old out, and he outfished me about 3 days in a row because he was using a spring bobber and I wasn't. And there are days when you can't even see the bite with the spring bobber. I caught a big bluegill today where the spring bobber didn't even move. They can come up and inhale a bait so lightly, so delicately, especially in lakes. If we were to take you on the snowmobile and show you with the camera all of the places, all of the holes drilled in this bay, you'd see that this is heavily, heavily pressured. So when the fish are heavily pressured like that, you need all the advantages you can get. I'm taking the advantage of the spring bobber. I'm sorry. I know that some people think it's cheating, but a lot of times the biggest bluegills in the system will come up and that spring bobber will just move down about 1/16 of an inch or even less than that. And they can come in and suck it in so subtly that you really need all the advantages you can get.